Last week, me and the rest of Justice showed why we are the men that are holding the WIW Championship. After I came out here last week and I played nice with Mr. Goldberg and made sure he felt welcome, how does he repay me? By restarting our match. Bear in mind, that was after we won our match fair and square and without breaking a single rule. Goldberg still tried to screw us and try to take our victory away from us, but we still walked out the winner. We beat Skeens and McNair twice in one night. And believe me, the result will be no different at Resurrection pay-per-view. And speaking of last week's win, since we did win the match, I am entitled to choose the stipulation for my rematch with Miller. And I am also allowed to have my guys with me at ringside. And that got me thinking, since they're allowed to be at ringside for my match, I thought I might as well use them, right? I mean, they don't have a match of their own. I hope you guys see where I'm going with this. I don't know. Sorry, Goldberg, and sorry, Miller. We played nice, but you brought this on yourselves. The stipulation for our match is a 3-on-1 elimination handicap match. Very clever, Skeens. Just like you proved last week in the tag match, you are scared to step in the ring with me by yourself. Every time we collide, you were destroyed and you ran away quicker than anyone I've ever seen, and you got your boys to help you. So no surprise that you wouldn't take me on one-on-one at Resurrection. But here's the thing. I don't care if there's 3 of you. Hell, I wouldn't care if there was 100 of you. I am the real deal for a reason, and no matter what you throw at me, I will beat you and Justice, and I will walk out the WIW champion at Resurrection. I rate your ambition as much as I question your intelligence. Last week, you couldn't beat 2 of us with a partner. Never mind 3 of us on your own. Listen, right now, you are on trial for several criminal acts against the Justice Movement in our court. And at Resurrection, you will be serving your punishment for your crimes in front of everyone. But I will give you a chance right now. walk away now, Miller, while you still can. Because believe me, there is a version of this where you don't walk out at all. Don't make the mistake of fighting a battle that you aren't ready for, Miller. Walk away, Miller. Walk away now. Well, after another conflict between Justice and Stephen Miller starts off our show, we can kick off with some actual wrestling. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Darren Jacobs and welcome back to another episode of Monday Night Mayhem. We are now in the second week of the Universe Mode calendar, which means we are already getting closer to WIW's first pay-per-view of the year, Resurrection. We already know a couple of matches that are going down, and we will need to find out some more participants as time goes on. But tonight, we kick off with another trade from the Mayhem brand. It is the Young Blood Violet, the winner of the first ever Women's Battle Royal, and the first woman to get the main event, oh, not the main event of Insomnia, but the women's title shot at Insomnia. She went on to face Laura Stables, but just like the Royal Rumble winner, Peter Bolton, she was unable to go on to win that matchup. And now she makes her way over to Mayhem, hoping to get a bit more success. Violet, she really showed what she could do at the end of season number 1. And now as season number 2 begins, she needs as strong as a start as she ended the series. But she is not alone here on her transition over to the Mayhem brand. No sirree. She is joined by someone else who could never quite capture the gold, but who is always up and about as one of the top stars on the brand. It is Isabella Vega. And the women's division, both women's brands, we're not too certain as of yet who is taking on for the each brand for the championship. As far as we know, there's no challenger here, but Haley Bowen has been on social media, and she's so confident she's ready to take on anybody. She's very, very confident indeed. Bowen, the new Mayhem Women's Champion, now that Sandra Piper has been declared that she is not getting her a title shot, she will be going on I guess she's on hiatus, because we haven't seen her since then. Bell rings and away we go to kick off our opening contest of the evening, and with no certified number 1 contender for the Women's Championship tonight, we will crown one later on in a fatal 4-way between 4 established names already on the Mayhem brand. Oh, big leg sweep there by Isabella Vega. And already in the women's division, we saw the debut of Keiva Kaiju last week, who had a very impressive first performance, I believe, against Tiffany Abbott, if I'm not mistaken. Big double knees there by Violet. Violet going straight in, by Vega, sorry. Vega going straight into the cover. Didn't want to waste any time here tonight. And so for the women's division, they're getting a lot more action in the ring because, like I say, right now there is no real challenger, no number 1 contender for either the Mayhem or the Fight Night Women's Championship. And so they're getting a lot more TV time. The general managers, of course, are new to the brand. They want to see what all their stars can do, particularly in the women's division where there is desperate need to crown a number 1 contender. And tonight we will crown Haley Bowen's first challenger, and I'm sure Bowen will be very excited to see who it is. Well, look at this, Vega already taunting. We know how confident Vega has been in the past, and tonight doesn't look like any exception. Lifting her up, and a massive spinning heel kick, and that's going to be even worse with those beautiful high heels that she has on tonight. And Isabella Vega off to her usual good start. She's always been a fantastic fighter, Isabella Vega. Could just never get her hands on the championship. Into the cover again. And again, the shoulders are up before the count of 1 by Violet. Isabella Vega's biggest problem was the champion, of course. She can never get past the champion of Laura Stables. The two-sided personality of Laura Stables made her too unpredictable, but too skilled in the ring, because she had two sides of her that knew the wrestling ring inside and out. And Isabella Vega just couldn't handle it. But we'll see how she does here on the red brand. Beautiful work there with a crucifix into... decided not to bridge into the cover, Violet. Just trying to re-establish herself here, because Isabella Vega's got off to a fantastic start. But that's Vega. But for Violet, this is a different story, because she's hit a high point in her career now. She kind of peaked at the end of season number 1. Beginning of the season, she struggled, didn't really get any opportunities. Here's Violet into the cover now after wearing down Isabella Vega. Only gets herself a 1 count. And yeah, so and then of course she went on sudden death, and of course the famous episode 100, and she managed to win a women's battle royal that secured herself a spot at the Insomnia for the women's championship. And after a dominant month or 2 of solid women's action from Violet, she just couldn't deliver at Insomnia and become the women's champion. So now she's made her way over to Mayhem. She's going to have to hope for bigger things, but she's got some tough competition, that is for sure. Vega gets herself back into the ring there. She didn't create herself enough space to really get away from Violet here, and now Violet, just tossing her back into the ring. Trying to get some control in this one, because Vega has been quite dominant so far. And she doesn't show signs of slowing down here. Look at this, looking for another splash there. Beautiful. And so with all this new talent and competition for the Mayhem roster, it's going to be difficult as time goes on, once these names start to establish themselves in these brand, for our champion Haley Bowen. I see where this is going. The bell clap, perfect. Can she flip through? Yes, she can. Last chancery. And her back's against the ropes. Violet could be done for here. This could be the end of Violet right now. Last chancery applied. It's locked in tight. Violet's going to have to break it if she has any chance of getting out of here, and she does. Nice shot there by Violet, and she escapes the hold. And she needed that one. That last chancery has put away many a contenders. It's actually gave her a number 1 contendership shot in the past. But now Vega going for plan B. Can she find a way to put Violet away here? Hook of the legs. What's she going for? And it's a gut buster again. Didn't put her away the first time. Will it put her away a second time? Into the cover. Violet gets the shoulder up. She ain't going away just that easy. For Isabella Vega, this is what I'm saying. It's always been brilliant performances for her. But unfortunately for her, she just can't seem to perform in high-pressure situations. She's always been up there, but never quite got her hands on the championship. Beautiful powerbomb by Violet, who's begging her to bring the fight to her. Violet under a lot of fire in this match, a lot of heavy pressure, but we've seen how she deals with pressure in the past. She's no stranger to it, and I already see what she's lining up for here. Put her in the perfect position. Vega vulnerable here as a super kick comes rushing at her, and she's not just satisfied with 1 second, and one more for good measure. Beautiful super kick barrage in the corner by Violet. And now Violet dragging her to the middle of the ring. Maybe going for a submission of her own here. Has the legs. And just a shot to the chest there, trying to weaken her as well. We know Violet has that vicious dragon sleeper that she can lock in. I think she was thinking about it there, but it was well countered by Violet. And now look at this. There it is. She might be able to get it now. Go on. Can she flip through? She does. Dragon sleeper. Vega's in trouble. She taps almost instantly. And Violet takes the cake. I told you guys that she is at the peak of her performances lately. She's been so dominant, unable to beat Laura Stables at Insomnia, but what a performance here on her Monday Night Mayhem debut. She may not be the first woman to get the shot at Haley Bowen, but she is ready to go here on Mayhem. She is looking great. Vega brought a fantastic fight as well, but in the end she just couldn't get it done. And it was that Dragon Sleeper that gives the win for this woman right here. Violet gets the job done here tonight. Oh! Wait a minute! It's Kaiva Kaiju! Wait! What's she doing out here? Oh my god, taking her out! Kaiju, what on earth is she doing out here? On the submission last week that took out Tiffany Abbott. What is Kaiju doing? Just destroying Violet. Well, I guess she's sending a message. There's only one dominant woman in this division, and she wants it to be her. Look at the speed. She picks her up and slams her down. Kaiva Kaiju welcomes Violet to Mayhem. Clearly a dominant force, Kaiva Kaiju, as she proved to be last week, and continues to show this week. Violet laid out flat. Kaiju isn't here to make friends. She is here to take names and kick ass. A huge win for Violet, but unfortunately her fun was spoiled by Kaiju. Clearly Kaiju has her eyes on the prize and is ready to take out anyone who's going to get in the way. Let's move on to our next contest. Well, after a fantastic women's contest to kick off the show, we move on to more qualification matches for the Hardcore Championship. As we've seen already, Robert Hall of Mayhem and Dino D of Fight Night have already made their matches completed, and they have qualified for the Hardcore Championship ladder match. And tonight, qualifications continue here. First man down to the ring, it's the former European champion, Jax Wolfe. Jax Wolfe has had an up and down season number 1. He's highest of highs with the European Championship, but couldn't hold on to it for very low. He ended up losing it to the current European champion in Mason Foster all the way back at Lockdown, which feels like a long time ago now. It feels like I haven't been we haven't been doing this for quite some time. We haven't been live. It's so long. And Jax Wolfe now ready to make a big impact in season number 2. Considering his work in the trial era, this man has got better and better as time goes on, and I couldn't imagine many people better suited for a hardcore division than Jax Wolfe. And he looks ready, he looks confident, so we'll see if he can turn that into a result tonight. His opponent, we'll see who it is, and by the sounds of the music and the ominous lighting around here, I think I know who it is. It is fresh off his fresh off his win at Insomnia. It is the Dragon, Tyson Jackson, and I guess fully embracing the Dragon here. Look at this attire. Looking very, very nice here is the Dragon. Tyson Jackson, after a huge performance at Insomnia, came down, kicked the crap out of one of his biggest rivals, and walked out without a scratch. It was a huge, huge night for Tyson Jackson. And now Tyson Jackson has an opportunity as a Hardcore Championship as a prize. Original Brad hasn't been seen since his defeat, but I can't imagine that he is too happy about it. It must have been the most demoralizing thing in the world. Not only to lose to your enemy, your bitter enemy, but to lose in a matter of minutes. But for Tyson Jackson, it was a big win that he needed. And now he needs to get one here tonight to be one of the 4 chosen Mayhem stars competing in the Hardcore Championship ladder match. Oh, look at this. Jackson deciding to take this to the outside, and it's not the worst decision in the world. He knows this is a no disqualification match. Anything goes. Only rule is that you have to take it into, you have to take the pin inside the ring. And Jax Wolfe going straight to work here. He caught Jackson trying to jump the barricade. He wanted to take this to the crowd, but Jax Wolfe had no interest in that. Jax Wolfe clearly has come in here with a different game plan than Jackson. And Jackson was looking to execute it, but unfortunately it just didn't work out in his favor. So this is, of course, a hardcore match. No countouts, no disqualification. Anything goes. Only rule in this matchup is that the count must occur inside the ring. And the referee standing by, ready to do it. Oh my god, look at the strength here of Jackson. Lifts him up by the head and tosses him into the steel steps. Beautiful strength by the Dragon. The Dragon made his big return to WIW quite some time ago. Made an instant impact by attacking his long-term rival in Original Brad. And after destroying him at Insomnia, he's now back and ready to go. And of course, he's done a lot better than his former Dragon Dynasty partner, Reyes, who hasn't had the best start to life since coming back. And I don't know what the plans are for Tyson Jackson and Reyes. Jackson obviously getting a shot here at the Hardcore Championship. But I can't imagine that it'll be long before the Dragon Dynasty get back together. In a tag team division that's a little lost right now, looking for new teams to maybe step up and take the titles. Because a lot of the teams who have gone for it already just haven't quite proven their worth. Went for the use of the baseball bat there, couldn't pull it off. Jax Wolfe tried to do it as well, but Jackson just overbearing him with his strength. Oh, look at the strikes now from Jax Wolfe, who takes it back into the ring. He clearly sees that Jackson wanted to keep it outside the ring, and he decides to change the game plan. So for the Dragon Dynasty, there's always that option. They can get back together, they can go for the tag team championships, but I can't imagine things being too bad for him. Rage, of course, is the first ever world champion, all the way back in last year's Resurrection when he won it against Jaden. He knows his way around the ring. He's a fantastic fighter, really, really skilled. As for Tyson Jackson, he's always been in and around the title picture, was one of the final two of the inaugural European Championship, a six-man pack challenge, excuse me. He's always been up there and around the title picture, has just struggled at times to get the job done in the title picture, and he just couldn't do it. He lost to, I believe he actually lost the European Championship to another Dragon Dynasty member in Jace. Oh, look at that! Went for a middle rope Phoenix Splash, and I'm not quite sure he got all of that, but he manages to get the job done. And now, Jax Wolfe trying to carry some momentum after a dominant start from Tyson Jackson. Jax Wolfe, we know, is no stranger to taking a punch, but when the punches are as powerful as the Dragons, went for a kick, misses after the clothesline, and these two now trading blows back and forth and counters. Oh, look at the Dragon. The Dragon staring down the demon red eyes of the Dragon Tyson Jackson. We know how powerful he is, how deadly he is. And a massive backstabber to Jax Wolfe. Wolfe in a lot of trouble here as he gets one to the front as well in the form of a code breaker. And now look at this, Jackson taking no prisoners, showing his hardcore style. Massive elbows right to the top of the skull. Absolutely beating down on Jax Wolfe here. Wolfe has got off to a slow start, and Jackson looking to make him pay for it here. What's this? Oh, a massive Death Valley driver, or Samoan driver, excuse me, only gets a one count. And look at the face of Jackson. He was a lot more confident in that move than I think he thought it would be. But as always, the backup plan. We know what comes next. The Dragon charging up. Look at the speed. The speed on that Dragon's crash, but Jax Wolfe saw it coming and avoids the Dragon's crash. And now look at this, ready to fire back on his own accord. Can Jax Wolfe find some life in what's been a one-sided affair so far? Jax Wolfe fires himself up. And the Dragon thought he was ready to put that one away, but he's not done yet. Went for the clothesline, well ducked. Oh, but look at this, what a turn into a bangarang. Beautiful move there, straight into the cover. Is that going to be enough to get Jax Wolfe through to the championship match? It's still only a 2 count. And the Dragon not ready to lay it down. Missed the Dragon's crash, but now needs to escalate further, try and find something else. Went for a big strike, well countered by Jax Wolfe into a strike of his own. Went for the clothesline, missed again. And he's just not letting him connect with this clothesline that he's going for. Up on the shoulders now, what's he thinking? GTS! Oh, and we've seen this from Jace, so he knows all well about the follow-through punt kick. Beautiful work there by Jax Wolfe. The pace of this match has just accelerated as Jax Wolfe finds life in this match. After a fairly decent season number 1, Jax Wolfe has come back and he's looking very, very strong here. Big double knees. That seems to be the move of the night tonight. Straight into the cover off the double knees. Is that going to be enough to put the Dragon away here tonight? 2 count, and a sharp 2 count at that. Jax Wolfe taking a lot of punishment. It's taking him a while to get back to his feet here. He needs something big. He knows he does. Misses the clothesline again. Gets under. Well counted again. This time by Jax Wolfe. And now what can Wolfe do? Lifts him up. Oh, and just tosses him there. A nice bit of strength there from Jax Wolfe. And now Jax needs something big. Oh, and a massive elbow right to the top of the skull, or the back of the skull, excuse me. And Tyson Jackson under heavy fire now. He can't afford to let the momentum keep shifting. Taking a second to breathe here is Tyson Jackson. What a fight this has been so far. All types of chaos has been unleashed in this matchup, but only one of these men will join Robert Hall as the representees for Mayhem. Oh, and what's Jackson thinking? Is it close range? Oh! He went for a Dragon's Tail Whip, but he couldn't quite connect. And now Jax Wolfe looking to capitalize with an overhead belly to belly. And now Jax Wolfe might make him pay. Vintage Jax Wolfe might be in bound with that pop-up cutter. Gets him up. Wolfe's in trouble. No, Jackson's in trouble. He might ruin a mistake there of missing the kick. Pop-up cutter by Jax Wolfe. And straight into the cover. Is that enough to put Jackson away? No! Gets the shoulder up. And he's taken a lot of hits now. All of a sudden, the tide has really turned in this match in the favor of Jax Wolfe. And look at this once again. Jackson retreats to the outside, trying to find some weaponry. But Jax Wolfe is chasing. He senses he's got Jackson on the back foot now. And Jackson could be in serious trouble. Big slam by Jax Wolfe. Wolfe is not staying down without a fight. He's been fantastic after what was such a good start by Tyson Jackson. And Jackson thinking about jumping the barricade here. He really wants to go over there. That's clearly the game plan, but having difficulties climbing it. I think he senses that Jax Wolfe's behind him, and he might make the mistake of not turning around to face him. Big powerbomb there. And Jax Wolfe doing a fantastic job here of working away on Jackson. He sees that Jackson is struggling. He sees that Jackson is on the back pedal, and he is not slowing down to give him a second to get back in this match. Jax Wolfe now to the top rope. This could be bad. Oh, beautiful connection. What a beautiful dive by Jax Wolfe. Jackson needs something huge, something big to get himself back in this contest, because it has not been pretty in this second half of this bout. It's been all Jax Wolfe, and Jackson just doesn't have an answer for him. Oh, crashing him into the turnbuckle post there. What's the game plan? He goes straight back for weapons. The Dragon is taking no prisoners here tonight. Oh, thought about the sledgehammer, decided against it in the end. Oh, went for another code breaker and missed. And Jax Wolfe sends him back into the ring where he wants him. Wolfe has been in complete control for the second half of this bout. And now Jackson in trouble as Jax Wolfe shows off a bit more of their strength. The Dragon in a lot of trouble here. This could be problematic. There's a swing. Slams him down. And surely now this could be it. Into the cover. Jackson's taking a lot of damage. Is it going to be enough? He still finds a way to kick out at two. And look at the face of disappointment there from Wolfe. He doesn't know what he has to do to get this done. Oh, misses the shooting star press there. A bit too ambitious maybe. Now Jackson stomping away. Needs to find something big here to fight himself back into this match. And what's he thinking here? Oh, look at this. Just working away on the ribs. Oh, and then slams him down with authority. Beautiful work there from the Dragon. And there's another code breaker. And straight back to his feet, not wasting any time, not giving Jax Wolfe another second to recover. But still Wolfe fights back. Still Wolfe refusing to lie down for the Dragon. This has been a tough task. It's probably Jackson's toughest task since returning to WIW. To the outside. And oh, wait a minute. Oh, not all the way. Oh, look at that. Just chopping away on him. And defenseless Tyson, the defenseless Jax Wolfe taking down into the cover, and his shoulder gets up again. What a fantastic hardcore bout this has been. And now the Dragon looking for the Dragon's tail whip once again to put him away. Beautiful kick. Pure perfection. No rope breaks to save Wolfe. And Jackson qualifies for the Hardcore Championship ladder match. Last year at Resurrection, he was part of a six-pack challenge for the European Championship. This time, he's going for the Hardcore title. This is a man who knows how to find his way into the title picture. Huge win for the Dragon tonight, and he looks confident. His return was so amazing at Insomnia, and now the Dragon is back with a vengeance. Oh dear. I see that turnaround. He doesn't look like he's done here. A chair now. Oh, and he's beating him down inside the ring with the chair. Almost hit the referee. And the Dragon back with authority and showing if anybody is going to take the Hardcore Championship, it's going to be him. We're going to need to get some medical attention out here, I think, to deal with Jax Wolfe. But it is time to move on with the next match on the card. The Dragon back with authority. Next up tonight, some more women's action, and it is a #1 contendership fatal 4-way match to determine the first challenger to Haley Bowen's new Mayhem Women's Championship at Resurrection. The women's division has been heated up for the first couple of shows here of Mayhem, and it's now time to find out the first person who is up to step to the plate and take on Haley Bowen. Bowen's been so dominant over the last couple of months that she's been able to slay Sandra Piper, and that is nothing that can be said for any of the women in this matchup. But now they realize that this could be the opportunity. Now she's gone. Now that the beast of Sandra Piper is out of the title picture, this could be the moment to strike, and no one in this match rings that more true than Leah Rose. Before Sandra Piper was beaten by Bowen, no one, and I mean no one, came closer to beating Sandra Piper than this woman, Leah Rose. So fantastic when she debuted, and she came within a millisecond of becoming the Mayhem Women's Champion. And now that Bowen has dethroned Piper, maybe now Rose can take full advantage and get herself a chance again at the Mayhem Women's Championship. This is her first outing of season #2. We'll see how she does. Joined tonight with some familiar faces, former Mayhem stars will all be in this ring. No one new into this match because they haven't proven themselves yet, in the words of Mort Goldberg, the new Mayhem general manager. And down to the ring comes Adrian Reyes, who was, of course, responsible for Sandra Piper's first loss of the Women's Championship. If you'll remember, a triple threat match between Adrian Reyes, Haley Bowen, and Sandra Piper, and it was Bowen who actually pinned Adrian Reyes to capture the Mayhem Women's Championship. And then, of course, the Fatal 4-Way followed, and the same result. So Bowen knows what it means to beat Adrian Reyes, but Reyes, as you know, is always hungry and ready to fight back. Former manager of the Star Boy, Estrella Chico, the Star Girl, now looking to make herself a star here in season #2. She had a great ending to the season, just couldn't make the most of it. We'll see what she can do now in season #2. Entry #3, someone who debuted last week against Kava Kaju. Couldn't get the job done, but we'll see how Tiffany Abbott can fare this week, because we know she can do it. We've seen her do it in the past. In the trial era, she was such a dominant women's champion that no one could even step up to her. And now this first season has been a disaster for the former trial era women's champion, but now she has an opportunity for redemption. She couldn't do it last week against the debuting Kava Kaju, who's already made it clear she's ready to trump through anyone who is stepping in the way of her in a women's championship opportunity. So we'll have to wait and see how that progresses, but Kava Kaju has been dominant so far, and now Tiffany Abbott has a chance for redemption now that she is away from the beast that is Kava Kaju. Fourth and final entrant into this matchup, and it is a returnee, someone who I know would love to be in the ring with Haley Bowen for very different reasons. It is Elliot Rodgers, who is, as I believe it to be, in very close relation to Haley Bowen, so I'm sure she'd love to throw down. This is Rodgers' first match since she was choked out, made unconscious by Sandra Piper, another one of Sandra Piper's many victims. And you can all see why they're so eager to get back in the ring and try and capture an opportunity. Now that Piper is out of the picture, she can move on with her life and try and capture herself a shot at the Women's Championship. I'm sure that Rodgers at some point is going to go after Piper and try and get some revenge for what she did to her. But tonight, she can move past her. She can get a championship opportunity and make this a return to remember. 4 women, all been burning in the past by Sandra Piper. Can one of them dethrone Haley Bowen? Look at that. What a start by Rodgers. And for Rodgers, she needs an impressive performance here tonight because it's been a long time since she stepped into a wrestling ring. And so tonight, she's going to want to get in there and prove herself. If at least she can't capture the championship, she needs to prove to the general manager, Mort Goldberg, who may have never even seen her wrestle, that she is ready and capable to step back in the ring and assert dominance here in the Mayhem Women's Division. Rodgers had a nice little run of form in the beginning of her career, but then again, like I say, she met Piper, and that was essentially the end of it. We didn't see her again for the rest of season number 1. And tonight, after a long absence, she makes her return with a chance of becoming champion. Here's the roll-up here on the opposite side by Tiffany Abbott. A count of 1 as Reyes breaks it up, but then gets caught with an atomic drop. And a second one again. Rodgers coming back for a vengeance here. And look at this. Triple atomic drop. She came to play tonight. She's been eager and ready to get back in the ring. She's been training for months, and now finally, Elliot Rodgers gets an opportunity of a lifetime exploder suplex. Meanwhile, look at that. On the outside, this is a dangerous move because if a cover does occur in the ring, she is never going to be able to get back in there and save this count. Elliot Rodgers working away on Reyes. Meanwhile, on the opposite side, Leia Rose under heavy fire from the Tiffany Abbott. Look at that, there's a crucifix. And they're getting further and further away from the ring, which is giving Elliot Rodgers and Reyes an opportunity to take advantage of the space that they have. Maybe can get a cover there. And these two continuing up the ramp. Leia Rose trying to get some firing going there, and a beautiful fisherman suplex to do just that. She is trying to get some dominance here. Look at that. Beautiful takedown with the Lufez press to Catherine Albright. Oh, God, we are getting further and further away now. They're almost in the stands with the camera. And look at Leia Rose wisely getting back into the ring and sees Rodgers doing so well against Reyes. She didn't want her to take the cover. Remember, this is 1 fall to a finish. It is no disqualifications, of course. And the winner will go on to face Haley Bowen at Resurrection for the Mayhem Women's Championship. And now look at this. Beautiful hook there by Rodgers. A big, beautiful net breaker. And Reyes has rolled out of the ring after Tiffany Abbott's assault. And now look at Abbott. Look at her fly. Oh, Tiffany Abbott has come out to play tonight. And maybe if she put on this kind of performance against Bowen, maybe against Kaiju, maybe she wouldn't have had to qualify for a number 1 contenders match. And now Leia Rose left alone in the ring with the Tiffany Abbott. She got a chance here to take advantage if she can do it. Now getting up to the middle rope. Maybe look at a fly. No, well saved. And now Reyes. Reyes in control of Tiffany Abbott. Big suplex. Oh, and Rodgers taking out Leia Rose there and taunting her. Rodgers has looked brilliant here tonight. And into the cover here in the middle of the ring. Tiffany Abbott with the space to put away Adrian Reyes, but she couldn't do it. And a lot of these people with close ties to people inside WIW already, but like I say, no closer than Bowen, I believe. Oh, look at it. Oh, inside the ring. Beautiful play kick. And now Reyes might be able to score this one. Get the job done and become the number 1 contender. Only a 1. Yeah, Rodgers, I believe, with very close ties to Bowen. I can't remember the exact relationship. I'm tempted to say sisters. I don't want to mess that up, though, and say that for certain, so don't quote me on that. But Rodgers off to a great start here tonight. And now look at this with the leg, just wearing it down. Reyes rolls out of harm's way, and now Catherine Albright. Tiffany Abbott, excuse me, going top rope. Now what she did, oh, big knee there. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, what a leg drop to the back of the leg. And now look at this, Abbott sees that Rose is down. If she can get Rodgers out of the ring, she might be able to steal the cover here on Leia Rose. Wearing it down, and there's a neck breaker. And now going to try and steal the cover. Tiffany Abbott to steal this one from everyone. She got it. Rodgers had it won. Rodgers kept down Leia Rose, but Tiffany Abbott steals the cake. She manages to do it. And she is now going to face Haley Bowen for the Mayhem Women's Championship. A big opportunity at stake. She lost last week to Kava Kaiju, but this week steals it as an ultimate steal job there What a steal. Look at this. If we can see it again on replay, I don't think we will. There we go. There was the knockout strike. And then there was one more move after that with a massive left drop. It knocked Leia Rose out cold. And then this woman, Tiffany Abbott, came in and stole the pin from Elliot Rodgers. And commiserations to Elliot Rodgers there. A fantastic return performance. Really did shine in that match. But unfortunately, Tiffany Abbott came with her brain screwed on. Maybe this can be the start of her redemption. Can Tiffany Abbott redeem herself and find her way back to the top of the women's division as she once did all the way back in the trial era? We'll have to wait and see. A huge win for her tonight, but it is time to move on down the rest of the card. Brilliant contest here tonight. Next up tonight, a tag team match as requested by the general manager, Mort Goldberg. He saw the situation last week between Mason Foster, Siler Jordan, Travis Cottrell, and JW Cashman, and was requested this tag team match to happen this week. But it is to be said, and it needs to be made clear, that next week, Siler Jordan will take on JW Cashman one-on-one, and the winner will be the first person to take on Mason Foster for the European Championship at the Resurrection pay-per-view. Two men who have jumped the queue respectively, and now they have both done enough to earn themselves an opportunity at the European Championship. But tonight, this man, one of the men involved in that number one contenders match, Siler Jordan, steps up to the plate here tonight, and he will be teaming with the European champion Mason Foster to work together against the men who attacked them last week in JW Cashman and Travis Cottrell. Are two men who we are believed to have formed a full-on team, and tonight they get to make their tag team debut against the Natural Born Thriller and the Welsh Dragon. And tonight, Siler Jordan, following his huge debut victory last week in what wasn't the traditional debut match we were expecting, tonight gets to make his tag team debut, I guess. And after a huge win in Mayhem last week, Siler Jordan, the Natural Born Thriller, gets an opportunity to extend his graces, continue his streak, whilst also getting an opportunity next week for the European Championship. And that'll be interesting to see how the dynamic works here, as Mason Foster will be facing the winner of these two for his championship. So that's going to be an interesting dynamic there to see how that one plays out. That is going to be a weird one, but Mason Foster and Siler Jordan, as we've already seen, clearly can trust each other, clearly were friends. Mason Foster was willing to back him last week in his match against against Travis Cottrell when he went one-on-one with him. But Mason Foster, the European champion, stepping out to the ring tonight. The longest reigning European champion in WIW history, making his way down to the ring. Next week we will find out who will be the first person to challenge him for that European champion. But the Welsh Wonder Boy made it clear last week on Mayhem, he doesn't care who he has to face. He will take on all comers and continue to defend the European Championship whilst in pursuit of the Mayhem's top prize, the WIW Championship. With Siler Jordan, he was backed by Mason last week. He stood by him. He didn't have to, but he did. And now this week they team together to try and deal with their assailants who make their tag team debut here tonight against these two. Well, two men who have jumped the queue, of course. And Travis Cottrell, no stranger to jump in the queue, the first ever television champion. Both of these men are former television champions, now thinking about it. The only two men to have held the title other than Big Willie. And here comes JW Cashman and Travis Cottrell, the two richest men in WIW history, are now working together, and you can already see how confident and cocky they are. Travis with a big disappointing loss last week, but however, he did look very impressive, very showy what he could do, but clearly in the end the submission was too much for him and he ended up tapping out to Siler Jordan. But tonight these two make their tag team debut, and they need an impressive one to solidify themselves as the unit that they want to. And starting us off tonight, Cashman and Siler Jordan are both going to start. And these two have been arguing on social media before Siler Jordan even arrived. And as soon as Siler Jordan got here, these two butted heads. And next week we will see these two collide one-on-one for a number 1 contendership opportunity for the European Championship at Resurrection. The card is really starting to fill up now with the Mayhem matches. Still got a lot more to crown on Fight Night, but we definitely are getting some amazing contests here on Mayhem. Submission hold applied already by the Natural Born Thriller, just trying to make this a little easier on himself, and well escaped by Cashman. And Silent Jordan off to a fantastic start here, but Cashman, as we know, can take a punch. Cashman and Travis, both natural cruiserweights. They don't always strike you as cruiserweights, but they definitely are in that region. Tag made, and out goes Travis. In comes Travis for the first time in this match, and I'm sure the tactic here from Travis and Cashman is to maybe isolate one man, maybe to show off what they can do. I don't really know. This is their first outing as a tag team, and they clearly have not shown any interest of going for the tag team championship. Big kick there by Silent Jordan. I didn't think he was going to make that. He manages to stretch it over. But yeah, clearly no interest in going for the tag team championship just yet. Big suplex there on the counter by Silent Jordan. So we'll have to see how Cashman and Travis go here tonight. Right now, Silent Jordan doing a one-man wrecking crew job here of dealing with Travis and Travis and JW Cashman very well. Submission hold applied again, trying to go for another tap-out victory. These two faced off last week, and Silent Jordan was able to get Travis to tap out. Travis went for a kick there, well counted again by Jordan. Tag made, and in comes the European champion for his first bit of in-ring action this year. Beautiful combination there between Silent Jordan and Mason Foster. And Foster, the only man in this ring, well, Cashman and Cashman and Foster, really, the only two men not to have any in-ring action so far since the return of Season 2. Mason Foster, Mayhem Star of the Year, and that is exactly why he's going to be targeted with that European Championship. He's made it clear he has eyes on going for the World Championship, but for Mason Foster, it's all about defending the European Championship and the legacy that he has built with it. It's one of the most historic, longest reigns that we've had for the European Championship, and he is going to want it to go down in history. He already believes he is the greatest European champion that we've had so far, and I'm sure he doesn't have any intention of stopping today. Beautiful dropkick by Cashman. I think he's accidentally caught the ref there on the run-up. Referee just not giving himself enough space there to deal with the threat. Foster not dealing as well with Cashman and Travis as Silent Jordan has. And now Cashman might be able to make him pay for it. And now what's he think? Oh, I know where this is going. Beautiful flip. And now Cashman flips through again. We know where this is going. The brainbuster followed through. Beautiful work there by JW Cashman. And Mason Foster really struggling. Desperately needs to make a tag here. Silent Jordan had this situation under control, but Foster struggling to do the same. He's calling for the tag, but look at this. In trouble now. I see what Cashman's thinking to knock out the champ. $1 million shot. And that could be enough. Already, early on, the $1 million shot in his corner, into the cover. Silent Jordan not coming to his rescue. Oh, and he didn't need to. I think he was confident that Foster would kick out. And he does. And Cashman tags out. And Cashman and Travis have turned the tide in this matchup. Foster really struggling to deal with the offense of Cashman and Travis. Two former television champions collide here. And now look at this. Oh, nice flip by Travis. Maybe managed to land on his feet. Ducks under the super kick there. There's Mason Foster, but again couldn't capitalize. Now back in the corner. Cashman went for a cheap shot there, misses. Oh, and now look at this. Foster trying to turn the tide. Hook of the leg. Well, look at this. What's he thinking here? Oh, submission hold applied. A figure 4 in the middle of the ring. In trouble here. Travis, no rope break to help him. He's got to find a way to power out the European champion. Showing his skill here to find a counter. Oh, look at this. He's let it go, though. Foster lets go of the hold. Or maybe thought about reapplying it there. But he didn't in the end. Travis, look at this, begging Mason Foster to get up. The European champion has not looked impressive. Maybe a bit of ring rust from his time away from the company. Of course, the rest period that we've had. And now Travis Cottrell picking up the pace here with a massive drop kick. Foster desperately needs to make a tag here, and Siler Jordan knows it. You can see the frustration on his face. He needs to get out of here. Travis now, what's he thinking? A submission of his own. Foster in the middle of the ring, and he's already been punched. And Travis and Cashman make the European champion tap out. And look at Siler Jordan's face. He cannot believe it. Cashman and Travis, the new alliance and the newest tag team to the Mayhem division, prove their worth here tonight. An unimpressive first outing for Mason Foster here tonight. Really couldn't show off, but he manages to kick out of the $1 million shot, and he couldn't capitalize after that figure 4 leg lock. Maybe he let it go prematurely, but Travis, with the submission, redeems himself for his loss last week, and Cashman and Travis Cottrell pick up their first win on their tag team debut. And look at the smiles on their faces. They know how brilliantly they've done. They were confident coming in. They knew they'd have the advantage in the tag team match as a team who actually were willing to team together. But I don't think they imagined that they'd walk out here making the European champion tap. Well, that must have given Mason Foster a bit of a confidence dampener. Maybe a bit of a confidence boost for Cashman, as the two richest men in WIW pull off a victory in their debut tag team matchup. A big, big victory for the pair here tonight. But the question is, can they carry that momentum? And can Cashman get an opportunity next week by beating up Siler Jordan and taking Mason Foster's championship away for him? Or will the tables flip back in Siler Jordan's favor and he takes on Foster for the championship? We'll have to wait and see, but it is time to move on to tonight's main event. Well, it's time for the main event, and once again, it is all centered around the championship match that this man, Stephen Miller, has an uphill battle to climb in that match. As we know, Stephen Miller gets his rematch with Brad Skeens for the WIW Championship at Resurrection. However, this is definitely not the rematch he would have wanted after losing last week to Lachlan and AD Nathaniel, and he tag teamed with PJ McNair, who made his Monday Night Mayhem debut. Stephen Miller now, unfortunately, will have to try and capture the championship in a 3-on-1 elimination handicap match for the WIW Championship. If Steve Miller somehow pulls this off and he dethrones Justice by himself, it's going to be a miracle. But Steve Miller, as we know, is fully capable of performing miracles. He is not shy, and he is not ready to give up his chase of the WIW Championship. He has been hunting this title down for a very long time, and he's got through a lot of people to get here, Steve Miller, and he is not going to let the bullies that have been Justice get away with him. Tonight he takes on the man who actually, I believe, pinned him last episode, and that is Lachlan. But of course, you can't imagine that one Justice member is enough. All three of them have to be out in attendance, including the man who holds the belt, who is in the best position of a lifetime after choosing a 3-on-1 handicap match to defend the WIW Championship for the first time, Brad Skeens. Well, Nathaniel and Lachlan did the job for him last week, but that's not to say that he wasn't a big help in that. Brad Skeens, of course, spearing PJ McNair off the top of the turnbuckle springs instantly to mind. But Brad Skeens, it's been a long time coming for him to receive punishment for what he did to Miller at Insomnia. But now Lachlan steps in the ring with his #1 contender, Steve Miller, and straight away with a running bulldog. Lachlan, no stranger to singles action, started his career with the Justice Movement on his own. He came to WIW ambushing people who he believed had done wrong and were in cause of injustice on the show. And then quickly, his crusade caught on, and he was caught with a teammate who believed in his cause and joined the Justice Movement, which was AD Nathaniel. And Nathaniel really did prove his worth at that time. Now look at the strikes here from Lachlan, trying to fight off Stephen Miller. And Steve Miller met with a clothesline. And then before long, wouldn't you know it, the new WIW champion, would join forces with the Justice movement. He believed in their cause. He mentioned it earlier tonight. He believes in justice, or at least their twisted version of justice. Big suplex here from Steve Miller, the man from Thailand, trying to fight off all three men here tonight and last week. And you know he's going to have to do that again at Resurrection. It is a 3-on-1 handicap match. And of course, Mort Goldberg has made it clear there's nothing he can do. It has to happen. Last week was a fight for the choice of stipulation, and that is exactly what Lachlan and AD Nathaniel did for Brad Skeens. And Skeens, yes, he got himself involved, essentially making it a 3-on-2 handicap match that night. But of course, he didn't score the pin. It was Lachlan and AD Nathaniel with the lethal injection that got the job done. And I'm sure that Stephen Miller's not going to want to receive another one of those tonight, so he needs to keep his eyes open, keep his eyes peeled, because you know that Lachlan, AD Nathaniel, and Skeens will all get involved if they have to. Into the cover here, and almost an early 2 count there. Just about gets the shoulder up before that. Steve Miller, a dominant fighter. We know he is. We've seen him on several occasions dominate this brand. Of course, we see when he first debuted, he was on a massive win streak, which eventually ended by William Hale. And William Hale wisely jumped ship after that. But Steve Miller was unbeaten for quite some time, and he's still today such a dominant fighter, which is why Brad Skeens was wise to align himself with Justice to try and deal with Stephen Miller. And Steve Miller knows he's a threat, and right now showing this threat to Lachlan, who's getting met with a bunch of knees. And I think he's instantly regretting his decisions last week. Steve Miller is on fire, kicking off tonight's main event. And Skeens can't be too happy with what he's seeing. Last week, Skeens, every time he stepped into the ring with Miller, he was trying desperately to escape his grasp because Steve Miller just dominated. Despite being ambushed at the beginning of the show by him, and despite him getting involved several times. Oh, and I see that. Nathaniel almost getting himself involved here. Oh, and a big twisting neck breaker there as he rolled him into the ring. Remember, this is disqualification. If Justice get involved, this match will end in DQ. Although I'm not too sure how concerned they are with that one, Lachlan and AD Nathaniel. Oh, well escaped there from the corner, Steve Miller. And Miller now with a big kick to the gut. What's he thinking? Oh, I see what he's going for here. Death Valley driver. Beautiful work there by Steve Miller. And now in the corner, looking for the flip over DDT if he can get it. It's close range, but it's done it. Big connection to Lachlan. And now the referee stopping AD Nathaniel from rushing in and saving his partner. Gets him behind here. Big suplex by Steve Miller, who is picking up the pace here. And the crowd are going nuts for the man from Thailand, who is dominating the fight. Big triple German suplex. And now Steve Miller, ready to put this away. Might be looking for the tie driver. Flips him over. Nathaniel watching on, and so is Skeens as Lachlan is hit with the tie driver. Surely this is it. That's enough. Oh, wait, no. AD Nathaniel drags the referee out of the ring. And what was a certain 3 count. But look at this, Steve Miller continuing now to mount the offense forward, but he must be devastated. That was a definite 3 count stopped by Lachlan's tag team, the partner Nathaniel. And the Justice team, look at this, all of them hovering around the ring. Lachlan now turning the tide, and now a chair's coming into the ring. And did you see how Steve Miller's head hit that one on the way down on the clothesline? And that chair is not legal. This is not a no DQ match. Oh, and a Justice kick. Justice kick by Lachlan. Now might be looking for a combination of strikes here. Can he follow through with the massive knee? Miller's in trouble. There's the knee. Beautiful follow through knee on the combination. And Justice turn away Stephen Miller. No! Miller gets the shoulder up. He's not going to let the numbers game ruin it here tonight. And the Justice team must not be happy on the outside that Steve Miller is still in this. He had it won. He had the match won until the referee was dragged out of the ring by AD Nathaniel, who somehow, despite throwing a chair in the ring, dragging out the referee and trying to get himself involved in the match, has not been ejected from the contest. The referee removes the chair from the ring, and that gives Steve Miller a second to get back up. And now looking for the flip over DDT again. Worry signs for Lachlan and the rest of Justice. Flip over DDT again by Stephen Miller. And now flips him over straight into the cover. Is that going to be enough to put away Lachlan? No! Lachlan on pure instinct kicks out. Just about, but no. This could be problematic. One tie driver, I'm pretty sure, done it last time. Can he do it this time? A second tie driver. Falls perfectly in the middle of the ring. No rope break to save him. Steve Miller locks off Lachlan. No! Lachlan kicks. And I guess where he didn't have to kick out the first time, he had the energy remaining to kick out the second time. And Steve Miller with two tie drivers couldn't put away Lachlan. Justice hold on in this match. And Lachlan, the Aussie, trying to keep the momentum from swaying too one-sidedly. Brad Skeens and Adrian Nathaniel surrounding the ring here. Nowhere for Steve Miller to really run into the cover here off the top rope. Double axe handle. Is that going to be enough to put Steve Miller away? It's not. It's been a fantastic main event so far, playing to the crowd, but look at the boos. The crowd are not behind the Justice movement. They don't see the world like Lachlan, Adrian Nathaniel, and Brad Skeens do. And neither does Steve Miller, which is why he's trying so hard to fight back, to fight against the movement and try and put them down by himself. But I tell you what, if he really does walk out of the 3-on-1 handicap match, the new WIW champion, there's no doubt in my mind that he deserves a beautiful triple German there. And he couldn't quite get the job done. Steve Miller continuing to dominate. He's been in control for the majority of the match. Only when the rest of Justice got involved did Lachlan start to bring things together. And now look at this Irish whip to the corner. Miller can't afford to be in the corner. This is a dangerous position here. And what's he? Oh, I see what he's going for. We've seen this before. The stunner from the middle rope. And now Lachlan going to wear down the legs. Lachlan might be able to take this one home now. He might be able to get rid of Stephen Miller. There's a Justice kick again. Justice kick lays him out flat, and Lachlan knocks out Stephen Miller. Miller put up a fight, and I'm pretty sure he had it won before, but once again, the numbers game caught up with him, and Lachlan pins him for the second time in a row. That was the first Justice kick, but it was the second one that did the job. Lachlan and Adrian Nathaniel celebrate, and so does Skeens as they get the job done again. Lachlan once again pins Steve Miller. And the Justice team look very, very confident coming into it. A 3-on-1 handicap match is what Steve Miller is going to have to deal with when we get to the pay-per-view. And Brad Skeens, the WIW champion, is ready to lead his team to victory and to get rid of Steve Miller for good. And ladies and gentlemen, an unfortunate result here tonight's main event, but that is going to wrap up tonight's show. I hope you guys enjoyed this as much as I did. Be sure to leave a like if you did enjoy. Comment your thoughts and feelings on tonight's show. Subscribe to the channel if you are new, and I will catch you guys at tomorrow's first proper Revolution. Peace.